Kia ora and welcome to Takatāpui Talk. Today I am joined by dancer, choreographer and breathwork facilitator Taane Mete, a man whose life has been shaped by movement in every sense of the word, from performing on some of our greatest stages to guiding people back to their own bodies through breath and yoga. Tane's story is one of creativity, healing and transformation. This is Taane.
Okay. It's so good to see you. How are you
Donald.
really?
How am I really? Kia ora, Donald.
Kia ora.
Thank you so much for the invitation. How am I feeling really today? Interesting question. I just got some news that a composer that I was going to be working with for a new project is unable to work on my project with me, and we've had a great relationship working over the last few years. So I'm a little bit heavy in the heart because of that. So it's a matter of sort of navigating how one or I move to the next stage, which I know that will be brilliant. But it's always something quite powerful when you're deeply connected to someone, and then the pathway sort of widens a little bit more to make way for new things. But apart from that, I'm very blinking good. Thank you for asking. Yeah.
Because it kind of segues into that next question. Where are you right now in your life? And right now in your life, you're, missing the person that you've done a lot of work with over the years.
Yes, that's right. And but it's great though, because what that does as a part of our probably segue again into many other conversations is that how does one navigate what's immediately, what's for a better word, coming up, or what's a better way to navigate a newer situation and to find new pathways to work with other people. So that is what it is, and I look forward to that next journey.
Yeah. And I imagine there's lots of listening to yourself or to our wairua or to a number of things to find where you're going to go next.
Absolutely. Yes. But wholeheartedly where I am right now in my life,
Yes.
I am loving it. I'm enjoying it so much. There are a lot of aspects that I've worked incredibly hard for to achieve, and those benefits are certainly happening. And they're just through the simple things that I enjoy now in life. And they are simply just simple things that I enjoy, which is nature,
Yes.
moving the body, breathing,
Yeah.
good kai, shelter, essentially.
Wow, that simplifies everything, and that's just what we need, isn't it? And Taane, I'm so excited about our interview because we're going to, who knows what sort of gamut of emotions you and I are going to go through, because I've known you myself for such a very long time. But because our viewers and listeners don't know you the way that I do and the past that we've shared together, where did you grow up?
Great start. I grew up in Hawke's Bay in Napier and Ahuriri, and I was born in the 60s, so I've lived through the 70s, 80s, 90s, etc., to the current decline. And I feel that this expanse of years on top of years has really equipped me with some really steadfast grounding and steadfast opportunities that I've really enjoyed and have really taken opportunity to really deep dive into them through dance and, of course, now Hawara Wellness.
So, your Ngāti Kahanunu, or, what is your heritage, shall we say?
Ai, ko takikino ko tainui oku waka ko tamate areke nui ko hotoro te tangata ko Ngāti Kahunu ko Ngāti Koriki Kawakura ngā hapu. And so what that does for me is it really signifies and anchors, and I've been really thinking about whakapapa lately, about how powerful it is in terms of, because we can call straight back to our waka and times beforehand from the original sail over here to Aotearoa. And it's quite incredible to actually be able to speak to that through our pepeha and acknowledging the journey of our ancestors to bring us forth to the current time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel deeply grateful for the tohunga that have been a part of the ancestral storyline journey to be here and to make beautiful, points of grounding for my journey as well. And I think in terms of where I'm going at the moment, Ruawharo was a significant tohunga in the Takitimu waka. And I've kind of, in my own way, sort of used that empowerment of his role as tohunga to really draw from in my own personal journey.
And so what sort of child were you?
What kind of child was I? I was a thread of my own, in terms of I journeyed through my life at the beat of my own drum. I was a completely, in the 60s and being the youngest of 7 siblings.
Oh, you're the youngest.
I was the Portuguese. I was the baby in the whānau.
Yes.
And growing up, I didn't really need to say much. I was kind of like a silent child in a way, in terms of I felt like that my brothers and my sister were speaking for me. And so I didn't say a lot as a kid, to be honest. And because I had bigger brothers and my sister through schooling, I felt protected because they were my older siblings. So I never was bullied or in any way throughout my schooling at all. I knew I was different. Probably the most aspiring thing that I did, or something that I loved in school, was that I'd always run for the dress-up box. That was the most sort of highlight of my day at school. I was a daydreamer.
Yes.
I looked out the window. I looked out into nature. I always dreamt of being in nature. And schooling just wasn't for me, but I knew that right from the start.
Yeah.
I knew when I was going to school, I knew that there was something much deeper that I was connecting to it. And it wasn't learning maths, and it wasn't learning geography or this simulated teaching learning. But more, I felt like that my journey was more spiritual. Yeah.
What was your favorite piece in the dress-up box?
It was the blue satin dress.
I love that.
And I used to run for this dress, and I used to grab it, to be tugging and pulling, and I'd put it on. And then what I'd do is I'd make scenarios with my friends around me, like I'd put them in different seatings, and I'd kind of start to array a bit of a story. You're this, you're that person, I'm this, we're going to create this storyline and all get up together, sit down together. And I remember when I was a little bit younger than school days, about 4 probably, and I would mimic and make pantomimes about current times in my day. So I remember going to a tangi and seeing the tūpāpaku, the body in the coffin. So I basically would mimic out that scenario. I'd lay down our family yellow lilo that we used to go to the beach on, lay that down, put my toys and my animals around me, and pretended they were all in the whare crying over the dead body and sort of wailing. So I'd make wailing sounds with all my pets and animals and my toys.
Yeah.
And so that was definitely one of the things that I remember about creative outlets.
Yes. Yeah. From 4.
And
really. From age 4. Yeah.
From age 4.
Yes.
And then so by the time I got to school and I was dragging these dresses around in the dress-up box, I was becoming quite used to the fact of creative storytelling.
Yeah.
And hence that led me through to my dance career much later on. But I didn't connect dots.
No, of course not. Not when you're 4 or 5. Absolutely not. Were you precocious? Were you naughty? Were you? I can't imagine that.
I wasn't, in my eye, I didn't think I was naughty, but in my, I think I was definitely,
Mm,
I was really my own character, I was very different to all the other kids. I was very different to any of my siblings in terms of I was quiet, silent a lot of the time.
yeah.
I could easily keep myself company.
Mm-hmm.
I'd play with friends till, the sun went down, but that
Yeah.
was quite normal in those days, you know? Yeah, so I was, I didn't see myself as being a naughty kid, but I
No.
was very inquisitive
Yeah.
and always liked things that were visual and colors and
Mhm.
sounds and music. Yeah,
How many siblings did you have? How many older than you?
6.
Right. And so did they feel compelled to protect you or because, like I didn't experience, you said you didn't experience any bullying, but, you know, were they much older than you? Were there people at primary school with you?
There was actually my
Yeah.
brother who was 4 years older than me was at primary school.
Yeah.
He was one closer, and then my sister and another brother was at school when I
Yeah.
first entered into primary school, so they were around.
Yep.
So I did feel protected in a way
You didn't need
because
protecting.
yeah, I didn't need protecting at
Yeah.
all, but I could just wander through my entire schooling knowing that there was a family member quite close, you know.
Right. Yeah. Did you feel you
Um,
needed that at any stage?
no,
No, that's beautiful.
no, I didn't need that at all. Yeah, I didn't need it at all. But I knew that what I really enjoyed the most was anything that was physical,
Mm-hmm.
anything that was outdoors,
Mm-hmm.
and something that was creative or it needed more of a team sport player, like something that needed teams or I could see through, ways of connecting and making sense of physical movement. Yeah.
So you could run and do long jump
Yeah.
and all those types of things. You're talking about athletics or
Yeah, talking about athletics
yeah.
and just yeah, athletics, venturing,
Yes.
lakes, swimming,
Yeah.
running,
Yeah.
climbing trees, doing things that a lot of kids nowadays don't do, but we
No.
all did anyway in our days, you know.
Yeah.
It was part of just our growing up.
Yes.
The creative aspect really started to come quite strong when I was in high school.
Yes. Yeah.
And it segued into like I didn't really do that well at school. I was kind of just hanging around. You could pretty much say I was there to eat my lunch, really. Um, and
But it's
because I
fun,
wasn't,
I'd imagine. Were you, running and like you said, you're very sporty.
well, I was, but it wasn't enough to really keep me in school.
Oh, okay. You did.
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was easily distracted.
Mhm.
I knew that schooling wasn't my thing, and I went to see my friends. My friends after school one time, they invited me to a dance class, so I went along.
Mhm.
And I noticed that my friend in the dance class was going to the left, but she should have been dancing to the right. And so I'd be giving these actions like, you got to go the other way, you got to go the other way.
Yes.
And then she'd go the opposite way, but when she should have been going towards the right, say. So whichever direction she went, she should have been going the other way. So I was telling her which way to go. And then the teacher noticed this and the teacher said, well, why don't you come and join dance classes next week?
And this is
And
is it 13?
I was
What was her name?
My teacher, yeah, she was amazing. Shirley Jarrett.
Jarrett.
That was my first dance teacher.
Hi,
She was
Jarrett.
incredible.
Mrs. Jarrett. Hey, Mrs. Jarrett. Miss Jarrett?
Yeah, I think it was Shirley. We just knew her as Shirley Jarrett. We
Wow.
didn't call her Miss. That's all we knew her as. I think she was married, but yeah, she was incredible because she had. Hmm?
70s. That's quite relaxed, calling her Shirley Jarrett.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was actually.
Mm.
And I really she was an incredible teacher. You know, she was very expressive. And her upper body would move so incredibly, and her legs would be fast. So yeah, she gave me a lot of inspiration. Actually,
Yeah.
there came a time when I needed to pay for the classes, so I'd go home and I asked my mum if I could do the dance classes if she could pay for them. And I remember my mum saying, well, she didn't say anything. She walked away, actually. She walked away and she came back 3 days later and said, okay, I'll pay for your classes. Don't tell your father. And you have to find your own way to dance classes.
Yeah.
Which that wasn't hard at all. I could do all of that and continued to take up classes. And then everything from that point just rolled on and on in succession. I was invited to, because I was so young when I left school.
Mhm.
I was about, 15 and a half, 16 when I left school. And I needed social welfare at the time would keep an eye on you to make sure that you were
Safe.
segueing into the workforce. And so there were schemes called the PP scheme, and I went on one of the schemes, and I lined up in this line, and it was a lot of us 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, sorry. And this line here was to go scrub cutting. This line here was to do construction work. And there was a line there that was to make baby clothes. I went straight for the baby clothes line. I was like, I want to make baby clothes. I wasn't going to do anything physical. I wasn't going to do anything hard out. So I did that for 1 week.
Mhm.
And then I got a call from social welfare to say, Taane, we noticed that you put down dance as one of your preferred career paths, and there's an opening that's come up in Napier.
Mm.
So would you like the job? And I said, well, look, I'll go for an interview. They said, can you go for an interview? Which I did. And my audition was stretch, splits either way, which I could do.
Of course, yes.
And a couple of other pointing your feet, and I got the job. So that was my first job at a young age, and I loved it. It was amazing.
You know, when I hearing your kōrero, and you know, when I smile and laugh, the similarities, you know, it even of my own childhood, and I'm not interviewing myself at the moment, but I smile and you know, because it is so similar, and that's what makes us really special as Takatāpui. You know, our childhoods, especially Takatāpui Taane, we're like, there's a real similarity, and I'm seeing this happen whilst interviewing others, you know, and it makes me feel so warm. It really does. And, you know, because, the incredible work that you do now, I'm wondering, before we go any further, do you think we should do some breath work? Should we start with a short breath?
Yes, let's do that. Let's definitely do that. Beautiful. What a great way to bring the breath work in. I've been teaching breath work. I did my first level breath work last year, actually.
Mhm.
And it was really powerful, incredibly powerful. And I've been teaching because I work at Aroha wellness retreats, and I
So,
teach breath work there.
would you guide me through one?
I'd love to. Yes. Cool. So find a relaxed place with your body
Feet on the
and there's
ground.
no neck. Yes. Feet on the ground, and start to, if it's here for you, close down your eyes and just begin to notice your own inhale, exhale without shifting it in any way. Notice the texture of the tongue and the mouth and where it sits in the mouth. And as you draw the breath in through the nose, hold for a moment, and then exhale out of the nose. And just take this very slowly to start with. And as you keep this gentle, easeful breath, start to notice the shoulders to soften, the backs of the eyes. Good. And we're going to inhale for 4 counts. Inhale, tahi, rua, toru, fa. Hold. Exhale out of the nose, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold again. Deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and relaxed. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now as we breathe, we're going to breathe in for 5 counts. Tahi, rua, toru, fa, lima. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe it. 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. In. 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just let that go for a moment. Good one. You might just want to open your eyes for a moment. We're going to take our right hand and you're going to place your index finger and your middle finger, your peace fingers, and place them on the third eye. You're going to use your right thumb and you're going to block your right nostril. And you're going to inhale for 4 counts in the left nostril. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to block with your ring finger. Open your right nostril. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right. Close, open. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close, open. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close, open. Exhale left. Carry on this way. Inhale left. Exhale right. Close to open. Exhale right. Keep going. 2 more. In. Keep gentle and soft as you breathe in. Close, open, and out. Let's take 1 more. Close, open, out. And then slowly start to release the hands down by your sides. So just then you are washing through or activating both sides of the brain. Nadi shorten breath as you flush both sides. We're going to take an invisible breath. This is our last one. Imagine that you're playing hide and seek and you don't want anyone to see you. So as you breathe in through your nose, make it very, very gentle. And you're going to keep your ribs still, your chest, the cheeks on your face, the skin on your face, your eyebrows, everything is still. It's just that you're taking small breaths into your lungs and exhaling out of the nose. Exhale all the air very gently in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale. See if we can make the ribs quiet. Exhale. More. Breathing in, the ribs soft and still. Breathing out. Let's take 1 more. In and exhale. And then just simply let the breath go. Just notice what you notice. Soften the eyes and the sockets. Good. Take a deep breath and deep breath. Thank you.
You know, it's beautiful, Taane. I've never done it before, especially breathing through your nose, because it's always, I've done lots of breathe through your nose, out through your mouth, breathe through your nose. What does that mean?
Yeah, sure. Great question. The nasal breathing helps to regulate the body and it activates the parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system is the ability to rest and digest rather than activating the breath through mouth breathing. And what we want to do is keep as much carbon dioxide in the body. So using the nose helps to do that. As soon as you start breathing through the mouth or you're talking and walking, it's mouth breathing immediately.
Right.
And so we want to savor the carbon dioxide and keep it in the body. And which is why. And also mouth breathing, there is no filter, whereas the nasal passage, the hairs on the nose filters air, there's crevices in and around the face that filter air that
Okay.
come in.
Yes.
But when it comes through your mouth, there's no filter. It goes right to the lungs. Boom.
Yeah.
And so it creates a stress response when
Mm.
it's mouth breathing.
Yeah, of course.
So it's a lot more calming for you and a lot more science, and the science backing behind it is that it lowers, regulates the body, the blood, and it tones the vagal nerve, which is the longest cranial nerve from the brain down to the lower intestine.
Mm.
And it helps to bring everything, especially the breathing that we did for 5, into coherence. So the brain, the heart, the organs, they all breathe together at the same pulse, the same rate.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas if you don't bring it together, they breathe separately. Yeah, it's
Um,
very powerful.
that would be a very good breathing exercise for me to do in the morning, really, because I always take 10 breaths in the morning whilst, giving good intention to my day. I mean, I've only changed a lot of this sort of a recent from having, I think I told you I had heart failure. So anyway, it's not about me, but I'm really glad to have learnt that because I think I'd like to practice that. No, I'm not, I don't think I'm going to practice that way of breathing now that I understand how much better it is, for you, really, breathing through your nose.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it would be
I
amazing to,
get better
yeah,
as well. Yeah.
exactly.
Because you could see my chest, because that's what I'm used to, you know,
Mm.
my chest. It's not about that. It's about the coming through your nose, the breath through your nose, and it will take practice. But I can see the benefits. Or I can hear the benefits.
Great, because it is work. Breath work does take work. And basically, the rule of thumb, nose for breathing, mouth for eating.
Right.
Yeah, so that's a very simple way to remember it. Yeah.
Right. I love that. And that takes us, well, that segues, we were talking about it before we went into our breath work. So that's how dance became your path then. This teacher, Shirley.
She was my pathway to really grounding and getting a good steadfast way into movement. Sort
Mm.
of, I was very expressive with the body, but she put it into technical terminology, which I learned about. And when it came time to learn ballet, because I had already learned her discipline through jazz,
Mhm.
um, it was easy to clutch onto a different technique. And ballet it was interesting for my body. It wasn't natural. It didn't feel natural, but like anything with over time and years and technique and discipline, you get to understand your body in that expression,
Mm.
to be able to extend the body and point the feet and lift the chest. What it did teach me dancing though is it gave me rigor.
Mhm.
That whatever you do, you just got to stick to it. Keep on the dial, stay with it, and keep going.
That's what ballet taught you, that just a discipline. Yeah.
Yes, it did actually. And it also helped me to understand where my body was in space until I got a really good grip on contemporary dance. And then they started to marry together, and I became more experienced in utilizing my body in an expressive way through movement. So I didn't call it ballet or even contemporary dance. It was just movement for me, even
Yes.
though I was categorized as a contemporary dancer.
When
I
you're,
did see it quite real.
yes.
Yes,
So, were you going once a week? Like, how did dance classes work for you then?
it was literally once a week when I first started off, and then I started going a couple of times a week just to get some more practice in. Um, when I was in the dance company, infusion dance company in Napier, that was a full-time job. So you got to do ballet every day. They kind of put my body into
Mm.
shapes and I would just follow what they were because that's the only way I could learn. And then when I entered the New Zealand School of Dance, that was full-on training,
Mm.
6 days a week, with highly technical teachers and facilitators that would lead you along the pathway. And that's where I really began to understand who I was too as a performer. But it really wasn't until, and then I started dancing in professional companies, and that was incredible.
I'm really interested in, because you grew up in a little town. We all think we live in big cities, but we grow. And how? So when did your father find out that you were dancing, that you were learning to dance?
Yeah, well, obviously, Mum must have told him, and I was preparing him, obviously at some stage, but I didn't feel and my brothers, they were fine, like, that I was going off dancing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I got no hassle
Right.
from them.
Surprised. Were they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they weren't surprised that I was, because I was a little bit more flamboyant than the other boys. Um, and so they go, well, that's pretty natural for him, I guess.
Yeah, for Taane, yeah.
Yes.
And did they come to performance? Did your father come to one ever? Like,
No, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't come to a performance. My dad died quite early, actually, when I was, um, yeah, when I was quite young. He passed away. So he didn't get a chance to sort of see me fully fledged.
yes.
I probably only been dancing like three couple of years before he passed away. But my mum was a great supporter
How did
of
you
my dance.
that dad passing away? Were you 14, 15 sort of thing when he passed?
Yeah, I was, yeah. And yeah, it was, death is quite something I don't believe that I grieved as well as I could have, but then again, I didn't really know what grieving was because when it's your own family member, you're kind of just in it. And I found that it was quite full on a lot later on in life when I really started to accept it.
Okay.
To be honest, the big epiphany for me about my father's death and feeling like I let something go, I was actually in a breathwork class with my tutor, Johannes Egberts, and I was in the midst of this full-on active breathing where you push the breath in and out of your mouth, you're activating, and there was an emotional release where during the class I could see, during the breathwork, I saw images of my brother and my father. They came in, and I felt this immense kind of gratitude that I could actually acknowledge his passing
Mm,
because he was smiling and I saw him smiling, and so was a brother of mine that passed away. And they both came in, and I felt like this immense release,
mm,
knowing that they were happy.
mhm,
And then I felt like I had acknowledged both of their deaths.
mhm.
And it was a really powerful release. And that was what really gave me the impetus to believe in the breath work and to really lock into it because it's quite transformational.
That's powerful.
So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was powerful actually. It was incredible.
Mm,
So the journey that I'm on now in terms of art, dance,
mm,
making dance, teaching yoga, teaching breath work, experiencing breath work, my own individual movement practice journey of yoga. Um, it's really kept me quite anchored
mm.
to
But
all the aspects that I've been doing. Yeah.
a place of freedom too, though. Did you feel more? Yeah, it wasn't really through dance. I mean, you would have felt a certain amount of freedom, I imagine, during your contemporary dance career. But it just sounds to me that you had a lot more freedom. You felt more open. You were experiencing the grief of your brother and your father, and you'd not
Yeah.
experienced that before, had you? Really?
No, 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 I hadn't. And the great thing that dance did do is it gave me this ability to move within my body and express and talk about things that I probably weren't able to voice verbally, but I was able to express physically. And that was through the various dance companies that I used to work in at the time, Black Grace Dance Company, Douglas Wright Dance Company, Michael Parmenter Promotion Company, and a small stint with the Royal New Zealand Ballet. So there was all of this vocabulary that I was building within my body and also for the dance companies that allowed me to express physically. But connecting all of the dots really came when I started marrying the breathwork and the yoga together.
Yes.
And it became like a one package kind of one-stop shop.
So, you know, when I first met you, I met
Right. Yes.
Finale as Cornisha. I was a host there, you know, with Marco, and we're having a great time. So that was essentially a side hustle for you, because I didn't really understand the elements of your dance career. I didn't, especially at that time.
No, well, yeah,
What
well,
did
that's
that mean
right.
to you at that time? What did it mean to you at that time?
Yes, well, the evolution of my creative self into dance,
Yes.
and then going to dance school, and then dancing for all of the companies, and then my male boyfriend at the time, him and I were together 26 years, and I think in that time he was so incredibly supportive of my dance and my ability to create. And drag really was, it came slowly. Like, I kept watching the drag shows around town in Auckland, like the Buckwheats and the Berthas,
Yes.
and all these incredible performers. And I was very intrigued, but I'd never had experience with drag. And then when I first did a drag show, I mean, I got through, but it wasn't a slick performance. And I started to develop the character and Cornisha,
Yes.
and I like big, black, powerful
Yeah.
vocals and big movement. And so I was able to marry the dance and the drag persona together, which I loved. But no one in the gay community at that time really knew who I was as a dancer. Or
No,
some did,
Well,
but
I
not
didn't.
all.
Not to the extent of what I'm learning, what I've learned over the years. So, you talk about the big performers that you used to love to perform to. I remember this one show that was so funny. You dressed in a fat suit and you did Physical by Olivia Newton-John. Do you remember?
That's right. I do
Uh,
remember at finale.
yeah,
And then I'd be on this bike, and I'd be biking on this,
in a fat suit.
a bike in a fat suit, and I'm pretending that I was eating and all of these things, and let's get physical. Then the curtain would close, and I'd be like this person revealed after a great weight loss, and I'd be in the kind of the same outfit, but with my real body. I took off the suit.
Yes,
So a huge contrast, because I was physically fit and very toned
yes.
as a drag artist, and it went off. It just totally went off, actually. And I could kick my legs and do high kicks and big things and
All the things that the other queens.
all the things. Yeah, all the things the other drag queens couldn't do, I could do. So it was, yeah.
Was there a standout for you? Because I mean, that was a standout for me. It was just so funny. That was such a great show.
Yeah, I loved that one, actually. And I loved all the Patti LaBelle numbers that I did as well. I loved Patti LaBelle. And so I performed a lot of her acts as well, her numbers.
Yeah.
And some of them were ballads and some of them were really full on. But yeah, Cornisha was really gave me license to really be evocative and explorational,
Mm.
and really actually helped me to come into my fullness of Takatāpui,
Mm.
and to embody, the divine masculine and feminine in one.
Mm-hmm.
Because, culturally, as you know, that Takatāpui, we were knowledge keepers in our communities. We held knowledge. We were had tohunga roles and were deeply connected to earth, towards spirituality as well. So it was quite a significant role that Takatāpui had. And I think that through my journey now that I'm experiencing, I'm able to interlock all of that incredible knowledge through into how I deliver my classes and facilitations. Yeah, yeah.
Kanisha,
It's been amazing for me.
has Cornisha come out in any moment of recent times?
Not of recent times, actually. I went to Explore this year, actually. It was the very last Explore, and I dressed up. It was beautiful.
Did you?
And it was time just to let loose a little bit. You know,
Oh.
I had diamantes all over my head and my makeup and sort of beautiful costuming, which I love. Yeah, it's just it's quite liberating. It's incredibly liberating.
Mm.
And that's what I love about the characters and my pathway of dance, because it lets me do that. Yeah.
Mm. So with your dance career, any standout shows that you wanted to share with us that people might even know, really?
Yeah. Well, Jerusalem was probably one of my favorite shows that I ever performed with Michael Parmita. It was probably one of the biggest shows that was here in Aotearoa, and dance companies that happened back in the day. I think we had something like 14 performers, which was quite a lot.
Yeah, that is. But
Yeah, maybe even 16, 14 performers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we toured the country, which was incredible. It was an amazing show. And
what was
I got to really,
what was it about? What was Jerusalem about? What was the premise of the briefly?
it was poems by James K. Baxter, and really his journey through his poems and being able to connect to Wanganui, down the Wanganui and Jerusalem, and there's an area around in and around there where he was, and the last stages of his life where he became quite a figure in his community. So we really expelled and really extrapolated and increased the sort of his power within the community through dance. It was a beautiful work, and I really loved it. Black Grace Dance Company, I mean, that was incredible as well.
Yeah.
And quite expressive.
Yes.
But there are lots of works that I make now for the Auckland Art Gallery, and I've been making, this year will be my 5th work that I'll make for them as a part of their Matariki season.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And so I've been really enjoying those works. Yeah.
Okay. Is it solo work though, for the art gallery? Is it just you?
I have performed solo works for them with another singer, Taisha Tahari, and I did the very first one, Pahutakawa, in 2022. And then 2023, I did, I've done a series, and this year I'm up to number 5, and that work is called Piata. And so it performs on July the 10th and 11th this year. And I'll also be traveling to Canada as well this year in August to facilitate the practice of fitness and programming for a dancer, and more training dancers. So the focus is there is to train dancers. So I like the journey that it does, and you're able to travel quite a lot with movement and dance.
Okay, so with your overseas travel, I suppose your wānanga, overseas, how do you find your modus operandi in wānanga compared to, say, other established dancer, choreographer, trainers? Is there a sense of te ao Māori, the way that we do things, takatāpuitanga, like, do you see difference?
Definitely, absolutely. Because, for starters, I'll have lenses of all kinds through movement and dance,
Okay.
also through facilitation, the whole water perspective. and the embracement of Takatāpui, divine feminine, divine masculine, and being able to lean into all of those areas and respond and bounce off simultaneously, because the lens of someone who is completely two-spirited is very different from anyone else.
Yes.
And I can really, and I really value that because, and I'm at an age in my life, I'm at a time in my life, I'm at the pinnacle of my life where I embrace it all and I don't hold back on anything, and even conversational wise, and
Yeah.
it's just who I am. It's just who you know, who I'm embodied and who I've become. And not that I'm attached to the becoming, but
Cool.
it's just like I've lived a long life of expression. So it's just really coming true. Yeah.
So you must be able to share something quite different to your learners, do you call them learners? To your learners, and
Yeah. To all like,
other choreographers that may come in and watch you. I might come and have a look at one of your classes. I'm not sure how, you know.
yeah. 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 Cause I'm very aware of, and I can read bodies and expression and personalities quite clearly. And you just got to get a good sense of where a person is at.
Mhm.
However, I'm not a mind reader, but I can sort of get a sense and gauge through the room how I can navigate and touch everyone in terms of connecting with them, I should say.
Mm.
Connect with them in language and them with choreography.
Yeah.
And also check in on their well-being.
Yeah.
So there's lots of avenues that I can connect you through yoga, dance, breathwork, pardon me, movement,
Mm.
meditation.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
people are getting triggered, or even words that carry weight,
Yes.
and how to slow them down so they can be accented.
That's your difference. That's your point of difference, really, isn't it? And
It is, yeah.
when you get feedback, what sort of feedback have you gotten before from, people that you've trained or worked with or wānanga with?
Yeah, I think it's the ability to be mindful of just how valuable they are in the room
Yeah.
and not just a number,
Yeah.
and to be spoken to like a performer
Yes.
and like someone that can really contribute and that has effect and that has integrity in whatever they do, because they're a part of the equation. I couldn't create that without them, and they certainly couldn't be a part of the whole puzzle without me. So it's a shared collaboration.
Mm.
So I believe that you got to treat them accordingly, and they're not just people that need to just do shapes only.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, it totally does. Because I imagine
Mm.
people that you are training or teaching they're all different.
They
So
are.
it's to be treated differently. They're not a number, just like you said before, they're not a number. And I mean, I think with your breath work and this is what I'm hearing is that you're really making your students or your learners present and where they are. Yeah. And that's really what they would appreciate too, because you're not just treating them like a number and they feel present in your company, you know?
Yes. Yes, I would say that too, actually. And I hope that they feel that when I'm facilitating, and I hope that they feel, yeah, yeah. And it's also knowing just how much to give them
Yeah.
in a practice, because I know what a dancer needs to get warm.
Yeah.
I know that I've been there, I've done that. So I know what specific areas to work on
Mm.
and how to work on those areas, as well as giving them information that soon we'll be moving this into choreography and
Yeah.
soon we'll be moving into wellness and everything simultaneously. So yeah, it comes with, I come equipped,
Yeah.
but able to navigate all of those spheres.
Mm. It's like the tree of life, really, but it's like the tree of dance, isn't it? All these different things to create perfect movement. Well, not perfect, but like great movement.
Mm, yes. And I love the ability to storytell with the body and be able to become that storyteller, just by moving the body, or which direction you shift to or from. Yeah.
So, certainly what I'm hearing is that that's what breath work taught you about yourself, really, then, isn't it? The situation with your father, your brother, taught you to grieve, even years and years on. It taught you to have a true, because, grief is so powerful as well. And, it doesn't sound like you've suppressed it. It was always there, but it was in a box that was possibly tied up.
Yeah, it was just kind of like it had been put on the shelf.
Yeah.
Your grief isn't happening now, but I'll put you on the shelf. And now I'm able to come back. I have the tools to come back and revisit those shelves and clear them,
Yeah.
and do a bit of dusting at the same time.
Yeah.
So to speak,
Yeah. Yeah.
just to give myself, as you've mentioned, and I can feel definitely the freedom
Yeah.
to be able to move and progress more forward. Yeah.
So you're sharing this work now. Why is it important to say the Takatāpui community?
Yeah, you know, just being who we are and just being in the way that we express. Because what I love about young people,
Mm,
the Takatāpui community, is that we're very vital and we're very, we have incredible stories and we have ways to articulate these emotional, physical experiences, expression, but just having a platform to do that.
mm,
And what I sense and what I feel when I'm around um, beautiful rainbow community, Takatāpui community, is that there is this wholesomeness of safety,
mm,
but also abundance, I'd have to say, and the ability to just observe. But I love all the, my generation coming through our coming out stories.
yeah.
And I think as we move and navigate through the world, there are always coming out stories that we even tell to others. The
Mm,
first time they've heard our story, that's another kind of coming out to them.
mhm,
But actually, it's just us being ourselves. It's having the ability to be free with who we are
mm.
and feeling comfortable in that.
So how can breath, for those carrying, say, trauma or anxiety, how can breath work help them?
Definitely, most definitely. Firstly, it would get them in touch with their body,
Mm,
their physical sense, the response that the breath has internally, externally, and in the galaxy, in their own sphere,
yeah.
and the power in connecting them not only to ground but also to universe. That we are vibration. Every single human being has a vibration. We are all deeply connected.
Mm,
We're not just individuals that walk around 8 billion point something billion people with our eyes fixed to a screen. No, if we're all connected. We are all the same
mm,
if we allow ourselves to be. You can either be connected or disconnected. It's choice.
mhm,
And I really hope and I give support to anyone in our community to learn a little bit more about the breath.
mm.
And I hope to do, and I'm sure I will be facilitating some community classes with our Takatāpui whānau.
Mm. I really hope that our conversation, our corridor, and because people will be listening, that's definitely that's definitely what I want. That's my drive with these incredible stories that I've been able to curate. And this one's so important because something as important as breath, because what I've always learned from it is breath is your life. And when you're listening to it, you're listening to yourself live, especially if you're not distracted by anything. When you really focus, you're focusing on your life. That's the raw material of breath, really. For me, that's my opinion of it. And it's once you've learned that, wow.
That's 100%. And you explained it so beautifully, poignantly, that it's a deep connection to yourself. And there are so many distractions in the world, and we can keep ourselves from it and in it, distracted, or you can turn face and back into yourself and be present.
Mm,
Just listen and observe those beautiful qualities of how the breath's moving in and out of your body. and the biochemical and all of the scientific knowledge that helps to reinforce why the breath is so important.
Yeah, yeah. But it's really simple. It's breath, and that's
Mm.
yeah. And people forget. So what's the really? So I mean, we've certainly gone through breath this evening, which I've just loved. What is something that could guide our audience, which they could practice themselves in the morning? You know, when they start their day.
Yeah, I would say a good time to, as soon as you're awake,
Mm,
try not to drink or do anything, don't try not to do much.
yep.
Probably just go and have a pee and then just sit back and sit up and then just start listening to your breath. Just do a check-in. How am I? I could be feeling a bit groggy from the night before, and then just slowly start breathing.
Mm,
Just very slow breaths in and out of the nose.
mm.
Um, I've just realized that my phone just says 10%, so I'm gonna have to go and get my charger.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, but the power of it is that it lets you be present in it.
Mm.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would be a great start to someone's. And it's like you said before, breathing through your nose, because
Mhm. Exactly.
nose is for breathing, your mouth is for eating. Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Um,
And what has become evident is that there's probably more than half the world are mouth breathers.
yeah, I'm probably one of the.
Probably 70% of the world, even more. Maybe 80% of the world is mouth breathing. So we're just trying to start that and come back to nasal.
So there you go, our audience. Nose breathing. Sorry, mouth breathing. Breathing, mouth breathing. Mouth breathing is not the way to go. All right, Taane,
That's right.
this with everybody. I know you're. Have you got? So this is something that I do with all my manuhiri, which is I do fast 5 questions, questions that you might not think about. You'll just answer really quickly, okay? If you wanted to.
Sure.
What would you tell your younger self?
I would tell my younger self to stick with it and trust. And when I'm saying stick with it and trust is the journey. Just keep on the journey and don't look back. I mean, we're always going to look back, but just keep moving. Just keep moving.
Because you felt like you weren't doing that.
I was always doing that, but my is sometimes you lose track along the way. There's this little avenue there, and you go off there, and you go about there, you stop there, and you stay there for too much time, and then you've got to get back on the road again.
Yes, I
So
understand.
just stick to your journey and go for it. Yeah.
One daily practice.
One daily practice, breath work. So just be still and breathe in and out of the nose.
What brings you joy?
Movement
What?
and a cup of coffee in the morning. 1 cup of coffee.
Black coffee, sugar? How do you have it?
No, there's just white, a little bit of milk with my coffee. Yeah.
What do people need more of?
Love.
It's true.
Yeah.
What does thriving look like?
Striving is when you can have quality, beautiful kai. You're moving your body. You've got a roof over your head and you're warm. You're thriving if you've got all of those.
Yeah, not a phone.
Not a phone. No.
Thank you so much, Taane. I just wanted to acknowledge your journey from those days to now. It's really been beautiful to witness, and thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you so much, Donald. I really love this.